In the heart of Austin, Texas, the hum of creativity filled the co-working space where Apex Insights operated. Lila Carter, 34, leaned over her laptop, her fingers dancing across the keys as she finalized a pitch deck for Nexus Innovations, a tech startup poised to disrupt the market. Her consulting firm, co-founded with her husband, Evan Pierce, 36, was on the cusp of landing its biggest contract yet, a deal that could propel Apex into the big leagues. Lila's auburn hair fell over her shoulders as she adjusted a graph, her hazel eyes sharp with focus. For 8 years, she'd poured her soul into this business, crafting strategies that turned struggling companies into success stories. Evan, with his easy charm and salesman's grin, closed the deals she designed. Their dynamic had always worked, or so she thought. Evan was upstairs in their shared office, supposedly on a client call. His phone, left on the glass table, buzzed incessantly. Lila ignored it at first, wiping down the table after a late lunch. But when her elbow brushed the screen, it lit up, revealing a text that stopped her cold. "She's going to crash and burn tomorrow. After this, I'm done with her." The sender? Sophie, Evan's 28-year-old junior associate, her name adorned with a winking emoji. Lila's coffee mug slipped from her hand, splashing cold brew across the floor. Her heart pounded as she scrolled through the conversation. Months of texts unfolded. Evan mocking Lila's late-night work, calling her the help to potential investors, planning to oust her after the Nexus deal. Sophie's replies were gleeful, laced with promises of a future where they'd run Apex together. "She's clueless, thinking this pitch is her moment," Evan had written. "Can't wait to celebrate without her," Sophie replied. Lila's hands shook, but her mind was already racing. 8 years of marriage, of building something together. And this was his plan? To humiliate her in front of Nexus and steal her life's work? She heard Evan's footsteps descending the stairs. Quickly, she locked the phone and resumed cleaning, her face a mask of calm. "Everything okay, babe?" Evan asked, his green eyes glinting as he wrapped an arm around her. His touch, once warm, now felt like a trap. "Just excited for tomorrow," Lila said, forcing a smile. "This pitch is everything." He grinned, oblivious to her discovery. "We're gonna kill it," he said, squeezing her shoulder. The lie was smooth, practiced. Lila nodded, her mind already plotting. Tomorrow's pitch wasn't just about Nexus, it was about her survival. Lila Carter sat in the sleek Austin loft that doubled as Apex Insights' home office, the city's skyline glimmering through floor-to-ceiling windows. The sting of Evan's betrayal still burned, but Lila, 34, was no stranger to high-pressure situations. Her hazel eyes scanned the pitch deck for Nexus Innovations, every slide a testament to 6 months of her meticulous research. She'd uncovered the startup's operational bottlenecks, market gaps, and growth potential, crafting a strategy that could save them millions. But now her focus wasn't just on winning the deal, it was on outmaneuvering her husband, Evan Pierce, 36, and his accomplice, Sophie, 28. Last night's discovery of Evan's texts had shattered Lila's trust. The messages revealed his plan to drug her coffee before tomorrow's 10:30 a.m. virtual pitch, ensuring she'd falter while he took credit for her work. Sophie's gloating replies about running Apex without her fueled Lila's resolve. She wouldn't let them steal her company. By 6 a.m., while Evan slept, Lila was already in motion. She called Mia Chen, 35, a sharp divorce attorney she'd collaborated with on client contracts. "Mia, it's Lila. I need you to pull every legal string possible. Evan's trying to sabotage me and take Apex. Can we meet this afternoon?" Mia's voice was steady. "Send me everything you have. We'll build a case." Next, Lila emailed their accountant, requesting a detailed audit of Apex's financials and intellectual property contributions. She knew she'd developed 90% of their strategies, but she needed proof. Then, she installed a discreet recording app on her phone, ensuring it would capture the pitch and Evan's downfall. Every move was calculated, her strategist's mind turning betrayal into opportunity. By 9 a.m., Evan emerged, his navy blazer crisp, his charm dialed to 11. "Big day, huh?" he said, brewing coffee in their matching ceramic mugs, a wedding gift from their Tuscany trip. Lila watched him closely, noting the deliberate care he took with her mug. "Biggest yet," she replied, her voice warm but her eyes sharp. She'd rehearsed her presentation until it was flawless, her delivery polished to counter any sabotage. As Evan handed her the coffee, his smile was too perfect. "For you, babe, you'll need it." Lila took a cautious sip, tasting nothing unusual, but his glance lingered, expectant. "I need to check the slides," Evan said, stepping away as his phone buzzed. Likely Sophie. The moment he was out of sight, Lila acted. With practiced ease, she swapped their mugs, placing his in front of her laptop and hers at his station. Her heart raced, but her face remained serene. She opened the presentation, triple-checked the cloud backups, and activated the recording app. Whatever Evan had planned, he'd face the consequences himself. As 10:30 a.m. approached, Lila felt a surge of adrenaline. This wasn't just about Nexus, it was about reclaiming her future. Evan returned, oblivious, and took a long sip from the mug meant for her. His green eyes sparkled with confidence, unaware that Lila had turned his trap against him. The virtual meeting was about to start, and so was her counterstrike. The virtual meeting room flickered to life on Lila Carter's laptop screen in their Austin loft. The city's skyline, a soft blur behind her. At 34, Lila was poised, her hazel eyes sharp as she adjusted her headset. The Nexus Innovations pitch was her moment, not just to win a multi-million-dollar contract, but to dismantle her husband Evan Pierce's betrayal. The swapped coffee mug sat innocently on the desk, Evan, 36, oblivious to the trap he'd set for himself. His navy blazer was pristine, his smile confident as he took another sip from the mug meant for Lila, laced with whatever he'd intended to make her falter. At exactly 10:30 a.m., the screen filled with Nexus's leadership. CEO Clara Nguyen, 50, her gaze piercing. CFO Raj Patel, 42, analytical and reserved. And two investors, Sarah Kim and Michael Torres, both in their 40s. "Good morning," Clara said, her voice crisp through the speakers. "We're eager to see Apex Insights' proposal." Evan leaned forward, his charm dialed up. "Thank you, Clara. Lila and I have crafted something transformative for Nexus." His emphasis on Lila and I was deliberate, positioning himself as the lead. Lila smiled tightly, her recording app silently capturing every word. Evan launched into the first slide, outlining Nexus's market challenges. But within minutes, his words slowed, a slight slur creeping in. "Our analysis shows, significant inefficiencies in your supply chain," he said, blinking hard. Lila watched his hand tremble as he reached for the mug again, taking a long gulp. Clara's brow furrowed and Raj exchanged a glance with Sarah. Lila seized her moment. "Allow me to elaborate," she said smoothly, clicking to the next slide. "Nexus's current systems create a 15% cost overrun due to fragmented data flows. Our solution integrates these systems, saving $2.4 million annually." Her delivery was flawless, every statistic backed by months of her research. The investors leaned in, nodding as she detailed Nexus's pain points with surgical precision. Evan tried to interject, but his words stumbled. "Yes, the technical side is complex," he mumbled, rubbing his temple. Clara's expression shifted to concern. "Evan, are you all right?" she asked. Lila jumped in, her voice calm but authoritative. "Evan's been working tirelessly up late finalizing details. I can take it from here to let him regroup." Raj nodded. "Please, continue, Lila." Evan's face paled, his confidence unraveling as he took another sip, unaware he was deepening his own sabotage. Lila powered through, presenting a timeline that promised results in 90 days. Our phased approach ensures measurable outcomes, she said, clicking to a chart she'd spent weeks perfecting. Sarah Kim scribbled notes, clearly impressed. Evan tried to stand, swaying slightly, and gripped the desk. "I'm fine," he insisted, but his slurred speech betrayed him. Michael Torres's eyes narrowed, his trust visibly waning. "Evan, why don't you take a moment?" Lila said gently, her hand on his shoulder, her tone masking her strategy. To the camera she added, "I've led the strategic development of this." The virtual meeting with Nexus Innovations had ended, and the Austin loft was quiet except for the hum of Lila Carter's laptop cooling down. At 34, Lila sat back, her hazel eyes gleaming with quiet triumph. She'd just delivered a pitch that left Nexus's executives, CEO Clara Nguyen, 50, and CFO Raj Patel, 42, visibly impressed. Her husband, Evan Pierce, 36, had stumbled out mid-presentation, his plan to sabotage her with drugged coffee backfiring spectacularly. The recording app on Lila's phone had captured every moment. Evan's slurred speech, his confusion, and her seamless takeover. Now, with Evan upstairs recovering, Lila was ready to secure her future. She stepped out to a nearby coffee shop, the Austin air warm and buzzing with evening energy. Meeting her lawyer friend, Mia Chen, 35, Lila slid into a booth, her expression resolute. "I've got everything," she said, passing Mia a USB drive with the recorded meeting and screenshots of Evan's texts with Sophie, his 28-year-old accomplice. The texts detailed their plot to oust Lila from Apex Insights after the Nexus deal, mocking her dedication. Mia's eyes narrowed as she skimmed the evidence. "This is damning, Lila. With the recording, we can prove intent to harm. Let's move fast." Back at the loft, Evan was groggy, sitting at the kitchen island with a glass of water. "What happened?" he muttered, rubbing his temples. "I was fine then. I don't know." Lila kept her tone soft, masking her strategy. "You pushed yourself too hard, Evan. Don't worry, I handled the presentation." Nexus seemed impressed. His green eyes flickered with suspicion, but his foggy mind couldn't piece it together. "They said anything?" he asked. "They'll follow up soon," Lila replied, her smile practiced. Before returning home, Lila had sent a carefully worded email to Clara Nguyen. "Dear Ms. Nguyen, thank you for today's opportunity. I apologize for Evan's condition. He's been under strain. I want to assure you my commitment to Nexus is unwavering, and I'm prepared to lead this project personally. Please reach out with any questions." The email was professional, subtly distancing herself from Evan without betraying her hand. Clara's response arrived swiftly. "Lila, your presentation was exceptional. We're keen to discuss next steps with you directly." Lila's phone buzzed again, her accountant confirming the audit of Apex's financials was underway, isolating her contributions. She'd also transferred her personal investments into a new account, safeguarding her stake. Evan, still dazed, hadn't noticed her quiet moves. As Lila prepared dinner, her mind was on the next phase, exposing Evan's betrayal without losing Nexus's trust. She was rewriting the narrative, positioning herself as Apex's true leader. The contract was within reach, and Evan's scheme was crumbling. The morning sun filtered through the blinds of Apex Insights' Austin office, casting sharp lines across Lila Carter's desk. At 34, Lila stood tall, her hazel eyes scanning the evidence she'd compiled. The recorded Nexus pitch, screenshots of Evan's damning texts with Sophie, and financial audits proving her role as Apex's backbone. The Nexus Innovations contract was nearly hers, but today she'd confront her husband, Evan Pierce, 36, and expose his betrayal. The loft felt charged, the air heavy with the weight of what was coming. Lila met her lawyer, Mia Chen, 35, at her downtown office. Mia reviewed the USB drive Lila had provided, her expression grim. The recording shows Evan's deterioration and your takeover, plus his texts with Sophie planning to oust you. We've got intent and evidence of sabotage. The audit confirms you developed 90% of Apex's intellectual property. We're ready. Lila nodded, her resolve steel. I want him out of the company and our marriage, Mia. Cleanly. Back at the loft, Evan was pacing, his navy blazer swapped for a casual shirt, his green eyes clouded with unease. He'd recovered from the drugged coffee but was still piecing together his failure. Lila, what happened yesterday? He asked, his voice tight. Lila set her laptop down, her tone calm but cutting. I know everything, Evan. The texts with Sophie. Your plan to drug my coffee, to humiliate me and steal Apex. She slid her phone across the table, showing the screenshots. His face drained of color. Lila, Save it, she interrupted. I swapped the mugs. You drugged yourself, and Nexus saw the real you. Unreliable, unprofessional. Evan's jaw clenched, but his usual charm faltered. You can't prove anything, he stammered. Lila smiled coldly. I recorded the meeting. I have your texts, financials showing my contributions, and Nexus wants me for the contract. Her phone buzzed. Clara Nguyen's email. Lila, we're awarding Apex the contract, with you as the lead. Let's discuss terms tomorrow. Evan slumped, his plan in ruins. Lila continued. I'm filing for divorce and sole ownership of Apex. My lawyer has everything. She'd also sent Sophie's texts to her professional board, effectively tanking her career in Austin's tight-knit consulting scene. Mia had already drafted legal papers, citing Evan's attempted sabotage and infidelity. Daniel Lee, their forensic accountant, 45, confirmed Lila's contributions, ensuring she'd retain Apex's assets. As Evan stammered denials, Lila felt a surge of power. She turned his betrayal into her victory, securing Nexus and exposing him. The confrontation was over, but the final phase, her triumph, was just beginning. 6 months later, Lila Carter stood in her new office in downtown Austin, the city's vibrant pulse visible through expansive windows. At 34, she was the sole owner of Apex Insights, her hazel eyes scanning quarterly reports from the Nexus Innovations Project. The results were staggering. A 25% efficiency boost and $4.1 million in savings for Nexus in just the first phase. The betrayal that nearly destroyed her, Evan Pierce's attempt to drug her coffee and steal her company, had instead propelled her to new heights. Lila's strategic mind had turned his treachery into her triumph. The divorce was finalized swiftly. Mia Chen, 35, her sharp-witted lawyer, presented airtight evidence. The recorded Nexus pitch showing Evan's collapse, his texts with Sophie plotting to oust Lila, and audits proving Lila's 90% contribution to Apex's intellectual property. Evan, 36, tried to claim he was drugged unknowingly, but a toxicology report revealed a mild sedative, premeditated sabotage. Combined with his texts, his defense crumbled. Lila retained full control of Apex, its client list, and her strategies. Evan walked away with nothing but a ruined reputation. Sophie, 28, faced her own fallout. Lila had forwarded their incriminating texts to Sophie's professional board, and within days, her consulting license was under review. Austin's tight-knit industry blacklisted her, her career in tatters. Lila, meanwhile, expanded Apex by 50%, hiring 3 brilliant analysts, Emma Ruiz, 30, Jamal Carter, 33, and Priya Shah, 29. 2 new contracts, sparked by Nexus's success, solidified Apex as a regional powerhouse. Lila sat at her desk reflecting on that fateful morning 6 months ago. Evan's smug grin as he handed her the tainted coffee, so sure she'd crash during the pitch. His arrogance blinded him to her strength, the strategist who built Apex from late-night ideas to a thriving firm. She'd swapped the mugs, letting him drink his own poison, and seized her moment. Clara Nguyen's final email had sealed it. Leela, your leadership is unmatched. Apex is our partner, with you at the helm. As she reviewed Nexus's latest metrics, Lila smiled. Justice wasn't loud or vengeful. It was precise, letting Evan's malice consume him while she claimed the future he tried to steal. Apex was hers, and the horizon was endless.